Today I'm going to be teaching you guys about Mike McKay's latest niche content package, Azon Power Tool Bonanza. And I'm also going to be giving you a crash course on the power tool industry, as well as some of my personal recommendations for targeting this particular niche. Now, first of all, the actual niche content package includes 4 different parts for you to download. The first part is the content package itself. This includes all of your keywords, your exact match domain names, new articles, and power tool banners. Plus, there are also a ton of bonuses that are included in this section as well. Now, parts 2 through 4 contain the review videos for the 3 sub-niches. These are miter saws, nail guns, and orbital sanders. Now, as far as my general usage recommendations go for the niche content package, I have 3 main things that I recommend. Number 1, choose a specific sub-niche or even an individual product to target. Build an entire website centered around that selection. If the competition is too high, you can narrow your focus to a particular need, purpose, or skill level, and you can pretty much divide up any sub-niche in this manner. What I'm really talking about here is instead of going after the entire niche content package and trying to include all that information on one website, what you're really more interested in doing is narrowing that focus down to something that not thousands of other affiliates are going after, because ultimately you're not all going to be able to be up there in the top 10 of the search engine rankings. Number 3, you want to combine content from the package and your own unique content to make a complete site. This is really important. A lot of people just simply think, I'm going to buy this package, I'm going to slap all this content on the site, and I'm going to sit back and it's going to make a bunch of money for me every month. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You have to make your site different from what everybody else has to offer. Think about it this way. You have this niche content package. If you put it all up on a site and the couple hundred other people that bought it did the same thing, you would all have identical websites. So how could all of those websites be ranked in the top of Google? Ultimately, they just can't. So what you want to do is figure out a very focused sub-niche or a way that you can target a focused sub-niche that not everybody else is going to be doing, and then use some of the niche content package and also some of your own unique content to put together a site that will be completely unique. Next up, we have the keyword data. For each of the sub-niches in this content package, they are broken down into 4 different groupings of keywords, and this is based on keyword quality. You have amazing, great, good, and bad. The first 3, amazing, great, and good, are kind of the ones that you would want to more focus on. But even then, you don't necessarily want to just pick the best keyword phrases that are out there. You are more interested in selecting relevant keyword phrases here than you are selecting the most powerful or the best quality keyword phrases. So look at relevance first and then go look at the quality. You can use these lists to try to find keywords that you can target on specific pages throughout your website. Try to find one keyword phrase that you can target on each individual page of your website. And this will allow you to have a much better chance of getting rankings on those particular keyword phrases with that kind of focus. Next up, we have the exact match domain data. This is a list of keyword phrases, but these keyword phrases are available as exactmatchdomain.com domain names. This means that search engines like Google can look at your domain name and give you a bit of a ranking boost for that particular keyword phrase. So this is a common tactic used by both affiliates and website builders in general, but you don't necessarily have to have an exact match domain to be able to build a successful website. If you can find one that has 500 or more monthly searches and the domain is available, then great. But if you can't, you don't have to go back to the drawing board and start all over again. What you can do is take the keyword phrase that would work the best for you, the one that you would really like to target. And if the exactmatch.com domain is not available, turn it into a branded domain name instead. As an example, pneumatic nail gun. If this was not available as a .com domain name, I could turn it into a branded domain like Quick Nails or Pneumatic Builders. Both of these branded domains contain at least one of the words from my main keyword phrase. And ultimately, when people look at these domain names, they should have some kind of an idea of what my website is going to be about. And this not only helps the potential visitors of my site, but it will also still help you with your search rankings. Pretty much any keyword phrase you try to target on your website that includes one of your domain name words, nails or pneumatic, or even builders, these would give you a ranking boost. Now, the articles that are part of this niche package, there are quite a few of them. You have the new articles, which is actually 15 total articles. But these articles are completely unique to this niche content package. But then you have, in a bonus folder, 2,638 general home improvement articles, and these are PLR articles, which means that they may have been used other places before, but ultimately they're available for you to reuse and do whatever you want to with them. Now, you could use the articles as they already are and simply slap them up on your website, copy and paste, or you could try to spin them using software, a tactic that is fairly popular. However, I'm not a big fan of using spinning software. I think that the end result is a low-quality article that really is not going to be helpful to somebody reading it, and it's mostly designed to try to trick the search engine into thinking that it's unique content. Well, when you try to trick the search engines, ultimately you will end up failing. Even if you figure out a way to trick them short term, eventually they will catch on and they will update their algorithm and your website will disappear. And this is all the complaining that you hear marketers going on and on about Google, for example. Well, Google is not out to get affiliates. Google is out to get good, relevant search engine listings. And so if you don't follow that mission statement of theirs, then they don't want you in their results. And ultimately, they're going to always keep trying to keep you out of them. So you have to embrace what Google wants you to do if you want to get search traffic from them. And how you go about doing that is providing unique, useful content for your visitors, relevant to the keywords that you're targeting. Google has people that go out and search on their own search engine and go and look at the websites that are listed and they review them. So even if you trick them for a while, they will eventually find it. And those reviewers will make note of whatever tactic your site is trying to use, and somebody else will go and look up on that, and they will eventually figure it out. So trust me, just take the extra time and do this the right way from the beginning. So what I recommend to do with the articles is rewrite them into your own words. Read through the article, learn the information, then rephrase it into your own words, into your own unique article. And then it is unique content. I call this manual spinning because in essence that's what you're trying to do. But because you're doing it yourself, the end result of the article will make sense instead of being potentially gibberish that you get from software. Now, instead of using all the articles that are available, you don't just want to throw 2,000 articles up on your website just because you have them available for your use. You want to pick out the articles that are relevant to your niche. Really, really important. Carefully select the relevant articles that are available and rewrite those. Now I also have some other tips for you, things that you can do with these articles. You can try to match up articles to different keywords that you have in the list of the niche content package or even the videos that are available there. And use them together. Target those keywords with those articles. Include a video with a relevant article on the same page to enhance the content that you're offering. You can also mix and match your articles on similar subjects to create really in-depth pages on your site. Think about a particular renovation project. Maybe you had a couple of different articles that all talked about a different step of it. You could create separate pages for each of those steps, or you could simply put all of those articles on one single page and create a really in-depth page with images and header text going all throughout the page. This is what search engines are really looking for. They want to see these in-depth, creative, unique content pages loaded with other things like, media. You can also combine your articles into ebooks to gain subscribers. Pick out a listing of articles that are all relating to a particular topic and put them into your own unique ebook, and then offer that as a free gift to get people to join a newsletter list. And then you can send your own people to your site. Maybe you create a new product page on your site and you send your own traffic there and refer a lot of sales in a short period of time. Maybe you promote Amazon Lightning deals that are only available for potentially a few hours. The only way you can refer sales on that kind of stuff, at least any decent number of sales with any kind of reliability, is to have a newsletter list. And this also keeps you from being so dependent on the search engines too. Now, one final recommendation for using the content in creative ways, things like social network postings, or even as the transcript for a tutorial video. You have all of these Facebook fan pages and stuff that people will try to keep updated, and you can use this different content for your postings. With 2,000 articles, you could make a post with that every day for many, many years. If you create your own unique videos, use the articles as the transcript so you don't have to figure out what to say. Your own unique videos could then go and be used on places like YouTube and really help to bring in a lot of targeted traffic for your site. Now, there are a lot of graphics included in this content package. You have 13 graphics total. 6 most trusted retailer banners, which are great to use in the sidebar. You have header and footer banners for the top and the bottom of your sites. And then you also have this infographic, which you see over here. Now ultimately, you're going to need to edit any of these graphics to be able to use them on your site, to customize them. For example, the infographic here says yourcompanywebsite.com at the bottom. You would need to edit that and change that to your domain name, because you can then take this infographic and distribute it on other websites, and they can send traffic back to you, but only if you've customized it. Well, if you don't have Photoshop, there is another option. You have this GIMP video course that's included as a bonus with these niche content packages, and you can use that to edit these Photoshop files and publish your own unique images that are customized for your site. Now there is also an infographic training course included. You can take these and, like I said, distribute them and get other sites to send you traffic. But if you can edit this graphic and change the rest of it, make it relevant to your particular niche, and then distribute that, you'll have a completely unique infographic that other sites are not going to have, and that will really do a much, much better than simply editing the one they already have. Now there are 5 PLR ebooks included in the package. One of them is on general home improvement, and the other 4 are on various aspects of remodeling. Now, just like I was talking about a minute ago with the ebooks you can compile out of the PLR articles, you can use these ebooks the same way. Offer them as a free gift to get people to join your newsletter. But by creating your own ebooks, you would have access to something that nobody else would. Whereas these 5 ebooks are obviously going to be used by other affiliates. So keep that in mind. Take a little bit of extra time and compile your own ebook if it's at all possible for you to do. If you're not quite sure how to do that, use openoffice.org. It is basically just like Microsoft Office, except it's open source and completely free. You can create your ebook in there and export it as a PDF file. Now the final thing that I need to talk to you about, as far as the niche content package goes, are the videos. A lot of people don't quite understand how they are supposed to be using these videos. And as a result, they either won't use them or they'll upload them to the wrong place, and you can sometimes even get your accounts into trouble this way. Do not upload these to YouTube or Vimeo. These hosting services have specific rules when it comes to uploading your videos. YouTube will not let you have the same video uploaded by different people, and Vimeo is not very friendly with affiliate promotions connected to their videos. So you really have 2 options. You can self-host the videos on your own server and use simple HTML code to display it. If you just go to Google and do a search for HTML code to show a video, you can easily find the code that you can use and just replace the video URL in that code to use on your own website. Now another option is to host with a different provider that's less picky. Dailymotion.com being one of them. You can upload videos there privately and embed them to your site, and multiple people can upload the exact same video. Now I also want to talk to you about the power tools niche and industry in general and give you some of my recommendations for how you can go about targeting it. There are a lot of different sub-niches in this industry. You are not just limited to the 3 sub-niches that are included in the content package. In general, I would recommend targeting a single subniche and maybe even with a specific use for that subniche to reduce your competition. But another thing that you can do is to target the industry by a particular use or a type of project. Doing it like that, you can end up covering products from multiple sub-niches, which is quite okay because you're not going to be covering everything about it. Think of it like this. If you wanted to build a website about power tools and you were going to cover everything you could possibly cover, the information would be absolutely enormous, and there's really no way you could ever accomplish that by yourself in any reasonable period of time. However, if you narrow that focus down, the more focused you get, the more reasonable it is to cover all of the information that you could possibly cover on it. And that's really what you're looking for, and that is also how you avoid a lot of the competition. So think of it like this. If you were going to target a project like renovating hardwood floors, you would have particular information that goes along with that maybe taught people how to do it. You would also have information that goes along with the products that people would need to complete that type of project. So you might have some saws and sanders and even painting stuff, things that may not even be power tools, but would still be necessary for doing that type of work. All of this can be compiled into one single site on that one specific project topic. So just think about what you want to promote, and then think about how you can get creative and create an organized site on that topic that would allow you to target those products. Now, beyond normal home improvement for residential purposes, you also have commercial construction. And by home improvement, I'm talking about fixing up things around your house and not the show home improvement. But it's good to keep that in mind because the home improvement keyword by Google gets recognized as having something to do with this show, or at least it possibly could. So you don't necessarily want to go after general home improvement keyword phrases. Go after really, really specific things, but still find a way that you can target what you're doing to one of these two main uses. Because ultimately, unless you're going to be covering both of them on your site, you would end up with traffic on your site that would be interested in the products, but just not the kind that you're promoting. So if you had a site on residential home improvement miter saws, and you weren't specifically targeting that towards just residential home improvement, you might have construction employees or businesses that are coming on there to look for information on miter saws, and they would not be able to find what they want. So you either need to cover both types, or you need to specifically target one of them so you bring the right kind of traffic into your site. Now consider these other things when you're choosing how to target your website. Usage we already talked about. You also have certain types of projects, which I've already mentioned, and even the related projects that you would need to complete those certain jobs. But also consider the different kinds of work people are really going to need to do. You have normal repairs. Something breaks, you need to fix it. You have information relating to that kind of stuff that would be different from information for other type of work, and the products you would use for that type of thing might be different in some ways. You have other things like maintenance, just normal upkeep to a house to keep the value up. Very, very common among homeowners. And then you have things like renovations, where somebody wants to go rip out their existing bathroom and completely redo it. And then you have new construction. Maybe somebody wants to add a new room onto their house because they're going to have a baby and they like where they live and they don't want to move. All of these different purposes have different knowledge and products that would go along with it. So when you really think about this and all the different projects that are out there and all the different products that are out there, there are tons of ways that you can go about targeting these things in a unique manner that maybe not necessarily nobody else is doing, but that few people are doing. And that's ultimately what you're looking for. You're going after something that just a few other people are going after, instead of something that hundreds or thousands of people are going after. And that's really how you avoid the competition, pick up the traffic on your site, and actually convert that traffic into sales. So I also want to talk to you about different types of power tools that are available. You have a lot of them, much more than just the miter saw and the nail guns and the orbital sanders. So consider this when you are targeting your sub-niche. You don't have to be limited to just those three things. And if you're targeting a particular project on your site, then you're likely going to be dipping into multiple types of these power tools. And that's quite all right. I wanted to be able to give you a list that you could use so you're not just limited to those three. And a lot of these are going to end up being keyword phrases on top of that. Location-based targeting is a really big thing. Power tools need to be viewed like electronics when it comes to targeting these products for residents of a specific country. If you plug a power tool into the wall, you can't buy that in the USA and then go to the UK and use it without an adapter, just like if you were to buy a TV. So you need to think about that when you are targeting this type of stuff. Within a single country, you also have needs of residents within particular areas. And you even have certain types of projects that might be more popular than others. Think about Miami, for example. You have all this stucco being used. But if you were to go up around the Great Lakes, you're not going to see construction like that. So you can actually not just build a site about a certain kind of project, but find out where that project is really popular and go after that one particular area relating to that project. Then you know that when people come to your site relating to that project for that area, that they're going to be interested in what you have to say, and they're going to be eligible and highly likely to buy the products that you're promoting. And not only that, you're going to be avoiding a ton of the competition by having this unique angle to use to target your niche. So you just have to go out there, identify these preferences in a local area. This could be a city, a metropolitan area, or even an entire state. And then build your site accordingly to target those residents. Now, there are particular driving factors for online sales in pretty much any given industry. The power tools niche, though, is one of those niches where you can just go to a local retail store and buy what you want in a lot of cases, except for maybe specialty types of products. And for this reason, availability is not going to be that driving force behind the online sales, like it may be with other niches. There are plenty of products online that you cannot find in retail stores. So you have to consider this when you're targeting this niche. It doesn't mean it's not a good niche to target, it just means you have to select your products, and target the niche appropriately. Whatever you decide to go after, research into Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot at the very, very least. See what they sell that product for, or if they sell it. And if they do, find out for how much. Even go down to one of your local retail stores and see it in person. Ask the employees for information about your niche. Maybe you're going after a particular type of project. Get a Lowe's employee to talk to you about that, and they will freely. And you can take that information and go back to your own website and put it in your own words. So when you have all these retail stores that are so close to your house that you can go to and get all these products really easily, you have to ask yourself, why would somebody buy it online when they have that option? Pricing ends up being one of the biggest driving factors for this particular niche, at least in my opinion, for the common types of products that you can go to the local retail store and find. So research. Include that information on your website. If somebody goes to your website and they click on a product ad and then they go off to Amazon and look at that product, then they're like, well, you know, they probably have this down at my local Lowe's, so I'm going to go check that out tomorrow and, you know, do a little bit of research before I make a final decision. Well, it's fine. You know, they go to Lowe's the next day, and maybe it's more expensive at Lowe's, so then they come back to Amazon maybe later that night or the day after or something and decide to go through and complete a purchase. Sounds all good and well, right? Well, if more than 24 hours passed from the time they click that link on your website to the time they complete the purchase on Amazon, Amazon does not give you a commission or credit for that sale. Your affiliate cookie expires after 24 hours. So you need to make sure you can drive that sale within that time period. So if there is additional research that people are likely going to do before they complete a purchase on a product, I recommend to do that research for them. So figure out what they want to know. With these power tools, a lot of times that time-consuming part of it is going to be going down to the retail stores and comparing prices. So go out and hunt those prices down for them and tell them what they are on your website. If you do list prices, though, tell people specifically when you got those prices from, because prices do change. That way they can see if it's a week old or a year old and make an educated decision on whether they need to go and verify that research or not. So in that regard, do keep it updated, maybe once a month or something. Try to refresh those prices that you are quoting from competitors. That way you can keep your site up to date and people can rely on the information that's there to go through and complete a purchase on Amazon. Now, beyond going to the local stores, you can also go to the websites of these companies and find out the information firsthand there and report it on your website, or you could even put a link to those websites to give people surefire proof. Hey, go to Lowe's.com right here. Here's a link. It'll take you to the product page for this product on Lowe's, and you can see what it costs there, and oh, here it is on Amazon, and it's $20 cheaper. When you do something like that, you're stripping away the resistance that somebody has to completing that sale right away. And that's really what you need as an Amazon affiliate to be able to refer a lot of sales on a regular basis instead of simply random sales. Now, the final thing that I want to talk to you about is safety. Safety is really big with power tools. Obviously, they present a potential for injury that doesn't really exist with a lot of the other niches that people commonly promote on Amazon. While there are not laws that would require you to provide this safety information, because you're not selling the product, you're not even using the product, you're just referring a sale on the product. Ultimately, I would still recommend to show your site visitors that you care about their well-being and include that safety information that would be relevant to your niche and the products that you promote. On top of showing people that you really care, this can also help you with search engine rankings. You're including relevant information, and it's information that's not going to be advertisement based, something that Google really likes to see. And it's not going to be information that people out there will commonly be including on their sites, at least not other affiliates. So people can search for things relating to safety in a power tool and maybe find your site in the search rankings. So you can actually attract targeted traffic like this by covering this kind of information. While not everybody would do it, there are going to be plenty of potential consumers that are thinking about buying a certain kind of power tool, and before they do that, they want to go and research some safety information about it. Those people can be picked up in this manner as long as you're covering the appropriate information. Now, if you're targeting commercial or construction-based power tool niches, OSHA will likely have laws that govern the usage of them. Even though that is the case, you still would not be required to provide that information, but I would still recommend you doing so. If you go to this page right here, you can find the OSHA Hand and Power Tools Safety Guidebook. This includes a lot of information for both employees and employers when it comes to safety for power tools in this industry. And this mainly applies to the commercial industry, but the same safety guidelines could still be applied to residential usage. You know, there's nothing wrong with at least recommending to people that they try to follow some of these safety guidelines just to keep themselves safe at home while they're using these products. Then finally, the OSHA.gov website. If you go there, you can get full safety and health standards. This guidebook up here is not necessarily going to cover absolutely everything, which is why I still make reference to their actual website here. So I hope you have been able to take some valuable information away from this training and learn some unique ways that you could go about targeting the power tool industry and the various sub-niches that are included with it. Again, I hope you picked up something useful, and thank you for watching. Have a great night.